What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of DevTalks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering and technology-wise in the world. With this episode, Amazon might be feeling some pushback, and that's because of return to office. So, return to office has been implemented like through a bunch of companies where they ask people to come back to work. And now, when COVID happened, a lot of people went and worked elsewhere at home in different states, countries, all of the above. And now Amazon was ordering full time return to office. And now a lot of people have some issues with that because if hybrid wasn't enough, we had people doing hybrid going in twice or three times a week rather than all five. We had people who are fully remote, and this can cause some shakeup, especially if you don't live by the office. You're What are you gonna do? What are you gonna be forced to move to keep your job? That's most likely what's gonna be going on. But in this episode, we're gonna be talking about how 73% of Amazon employees considered quitting when they tried to enforce it. And without further ado, before we jump in, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Everybody who wants to know about stuff with tech, we're going to be covering it on this channel twice a week. Two videos every single week to try to look out for. That's the schedule that we're trying to go on right now. But without further ado, let's just dive in and get into the facts.
It's been just over a week since Amazon CEO Andy Jassy told his workforce that they will have to return to working in an office 5 days a week. And according to the anonymous job review site Blind, 73% of Amazon workers are considering quitting in response. Blind polled over 2,500 verified Amazon professionals one day after Jassy sent out the RTO memo. Over 90% of Amazon's workers are dissatisfied with the company's new in-office policy, and a third said they know coworkers who have handed in their resignation because of the announcement. Fortune similarly found in its own investigation that employees are raging.
One, I just want to say, them statistics are insane, That just shows you how comfortable people are just working at home. And I have my own feelings regarding returning to office versus being remote work. I've been working remote my whole career so far. I've gone into the office a few times. I don't live by the office of where I work, but I I had some experiences between going in office. I have friends that go into office on a hybrid schedule for the companies that they work at as software engineers as well too. And this is one thing I want to say about it. If you can work remotely and still be extremely productive, get things done properly, and you know, still be able to do everything your day, it helps your day, your schedule go on around, right? Go go for it fully. I love the idea. I love that we have the ability to do that, especially if we're productive people when we get our work done. Like I, I'm all for that aspect of it. If you are not productive at all and you're not getting anything thing done and they're seeing TikToks of you really not working all day, mind you, if you're making TikToks of you working at remotely, please stop it. Like, you wonder why they want us to come into the office so they can see what you're doing. Like, stop it. TikToks is going too far. Come on now. Like, it's not cool. Like, you making it seem like we have more freedom than what it is. There's a lot of work that still has to get done, especially me. I don't know about y'all. I don't know how y'all be. Some of y'all be having some free time out the gutter. I don't know how, but I still get a lot of stuff work done. But also working at home, I'm able to get a lot more done with everything. I'm very productive at home. The only difference that I say would be going into the office when it comes to my work and I need to talk to somebody or ask for somebody for something or get somebody to do something real quick or attend meetings, they are 100 times, not 100, maybe like it's 10 times more better and productive for those aspects. So there are good things about being in office and working, but also there's amazing things about staying at home too, which is why I feel like a hybrid schedule is, if you live close to a place, probably works out the best for both parties in that individual. Going full time, I feel like a lot of people are feeling, oh, you're taking away my freedom. I have to move closer to the office or I have to commute far as ever, which most of them probably do feel that way. A third of them already turned in their resignations when they brought out this policy. And then 90% of the people are dissatisfied. And I know a lot of people would be dissatisfied if they had to go back in the office, because you look at the environment that we've been working in for the last few years, we're working at home. I'll bet you all these people feel like, hey, I could just find a job that'll let me work from home, because we know we're able to do it and we can still get stuff done and the company can still make money. It's just that the companies have these big office buildings that they all had to downsize on after COVID, and they're spending money on it. So they need people in there so that it's a reasonable expense for them. Like, they got their leases and things like that. They had to figure it out. I'm sure Amazon has their own freaking building. They got their own buildings, yo. Like, I think they might own them all. I'm not exactly 100% sure how their real estate works for Amazon, but yeah, they're not even one of the ones facing this. Like, Amazon's a very um lucrative and high revenuing company. So I could see how a lot of people here will feel privileged in some type of way, but they want people in their office at the end of the day. And who knows, they might be okay with people leaving. If that's the case, they'll just find new people who want a job and who's able to go into the office. So those are all possibilities, but let's finish this out because it is a quick video and see what other facts are entailed with this.
Applying for new jobs and already interviewing for more flexible roles elsewhere. One respondent said she was hired.
I just said that. I didn't even watch this. I just said she got a bobblehead that matches her. I just noticed that. See? Right there. Look just like her. Same color suit and everything. Or clothes and everything. But I said that. People probably just looking for some other place that they can get a job at. I just said that.
During the pandemic with the understanding that there was no expectation to return to Amazon's offices. But last week, she was working from home when her husband forwarded her a link to the news. She told Fortune, quote, "At first, I didn't quite believe it. After all, who expects to get career-altering news from a news article instead of your employer?" Amazon CEO Andy Jassy has repeatedly warned remote workers that it's, quote, "not going to work out" for them at the company. But experts previously told Fortune that Amazon's 5-day mandate is a negotiation game to get employees in the office for the 3 days it originally asked for. Whether Jassy's latest move is to make employees show their faces more frequently or not, workers have until January 2nd, 2025 to call his bluff, or quit. While Jassy positioned Amazon's changes as a better way to work, most of the disgruntled employees Fortune spoke to are adamant that it's a thinly veiled headcount reduction. And although some fear Amazon's new policy will influence the tech industry, research suggests most businesses are becoming more flexible, not less, and have even recently backtracked on their stance around working from home. Flex Index analyzed office requirements at more than 9,000 companies who collectively employ more than 100 million people. They found that around half of US firms asked workers to return to the office last January, but that only a third have kept their strict 5-day in-office mandates in place. Now, 37% of employers offer hybrid working instead, up from 20% at the start of 2023. And separate research has echoed that CEOs in the tech industry especially have spent the last year backtracking on their RTO mandates. In August of this year, just 3% of tech firms were asking their workers to go into the office full-time, a significant drop from 8% last year, after experiencing more resistance than they had anticipated.
So there's a lot to take in right here, because there's not that much. I pretty much kind of covered this, but there's an underlying truth in here. They said some of the employees believe that this is a way to cut them down in headcount. And if they did this to do that, if you get a third of people, mind you, they said a third already turned in their resignation. If you're telling me you got a third of people to quit, that means they don't have to pay you a severance or anything that comes to requiring for layoffs. Y'all realize this? Did y'all not think about this beforehand? Y'all must be living good lives at Amazon, yo. You just quit? You don't even want a severance package to get laid off? It just gets you out of there for free? No more checks? That's insane. But yeah, I can definitely see them trying to use this as a negotiation for one, that reduce headcount. I can see it being a possible situation. Another thing I can definitely agree on is for them to get into the working hybrid. Like a lot of companies have been working hybrid already. There's a bunch of companies, if you live in the area, they want you hybrid because they want you in the offices. They're paying for food in this office. They want paying for all this stuff in there. They want people in there. At the end of the day, there's pros and cons to having people in office and being at home. I'm kind of confused on how people didn't think they wouldn't be required to go in offices again. Period. Like, of course, there's going to be companies that want you to come back, especially those big ones like Amazon, Google, all the FANG ones. I feel like those ones would have required mandates sooner due to the whole buildings that they have for people to work in, like Meta and all them, Apple. But Apple's is like a giant ring. Like, you telling me you don't want all your employees to work at home instead of going in the office that looks good right there with all them amenities that you paying for? Ah, that's funny, yo. Y'all funny. If y'all thought y'all wasn't going back, mm, poor Fang companies, yo. Y'all be doing. Y'all got the life to do that. But if your company, this is what I want to know in the comments. If your company made you requirement to return to office full time, would you go yes or no? Or would you quit? Another question for the comments. What do you prefer? Office full time, home full time, or a hybrid model? Personally, I like being home full time for especially for everything that I do in life. But office full time I don't think is a great thing, especially in the market that we are now, the way that we can work now, especially tech people who it's not really too much hands on with other things. It's all through our computers and how we're doing that. I just don't think return full time or return to office full time is really that crazy. And the thing that I think would work best for both parties is the hybrid stuff. As I said, I have friends that work hybrid. It's fine because they live right by the offices, so it's easy to do the commute and whatnot. If I had to commute a certain distance, it's not gonna work. it's it wouldn't. How I could see how a full mandate could or a hybrid policy if they made it to where all of their employees now had to move. I can see that becoming a disastrous thing. A lot of people will not stay in their jobs. They'll try looking for stuff more locally if that became a way of keeping everybody in house. But without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate all of that. I'll try to reply to everything that's down there and share to your friends and everybody that's interested in this stuff. I'm here to grow with you guys. I want to learn. If you guys have insight on anything, let me know. I'm curious about it. No hard feelings, nothing like that. But without further ado, see you guys in the next one. And if you want to see more, just click the video here or look in the description for another video. Without further ado, peace.